Two friends unite, they're bound to last. With a camera rolling and a dream in sight, they light up screens, make the dark days bright. On the weather news, happens or not show, they're the heroes we never forgot. Costumes, games, and silver screens, living out those digital dreams. From the set, they take us.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the WNHON show. It's been a long time. We haven't done an episode of the show in a couple of weeks, I would imagine, because we've been doing a lot of our content stuff, like Real Reactions and Bored to Death, so you can go check all that stuff out. Bored to Death was the last video that we did, and we played Battleship. So if you want to go check that video out.
And nobody liked it.
Yeah, nobody really watched it, so you should go watch it right now. Before you even watch this video, you should go and watch us play Battleship. And we explain all the stuff that we're going to be doing on Bored to Death, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did say on the last episode, or the last video of Bored to Death, that there was going to be two videos. One was supposed to come out last week. That did not happen, so we lied. We lied to y'all. I accidentally deleted the face cam footage for the second episode of Press Start, and I was unable to make the video, and so that video will not come out. It's one of the first times I can think of where a video that we've done has not come out in a long time. Because we used to do videos like that would never go on YouTube or anything, and that hasn't happened in a really, really, really long time. But we did that in the last video, so you should go check it out. We were also going to talk about Dawson's ball experience today, but we're going to save that for the next video.
Yes.
Because Dawson is actually going to another one next weekend. So we're going to cram both of those into one segment, and Dawson will get to talk about all that and the experience with that.
The video after the next.
The video after the next, yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll get to talk about all that stuff on the next episode of the show, I should say. Yeah, we'll get to talk about all that, and y'all get to see all of it. It's cool. Dawson's already showed me everything and talked to me about everything. So y'all will be in for a treat. I'll say that.
It's a good one.
That's a good one. Today is a very special episode today. I told Dawson off camera this is the penultimate WNHON video ever. We've done many videos talking about the stuff that we've done. We've done many videos talking about our favorite things of what we've done. We've done many videos about us. And I like to say before I get into how special it is, this show is now going to be just a show about us.
Yeah.
It's in the title. So you're going to see a lot more of reacting to our own stuff and talking about our experiences with stuff. So, like, in today's episode, we'll get into that. When we talk about certain things, we won't go that into it, because if we do a video on it, we'll talk about it that whole episode.
Yes.
So today, as we're filming this, is the 10-year anniversary of WNHON. As of today's recording, March 14th. Of 2025. We started Whether News Happens or Not 10 years ago today, March 14th, 2015, in my basement. And now 10 years later, we're in another basement. But we're still sort of doing the same thing. Yeah. I have always thought about where we would be at in 10 years, and I never thought we'd ever get to this point, but here we are in 2025, 10 years of Whether News Happens or Not. It's kind of insane. Yeah, this channel has been most of me and Dawson's life, really. As you said at one time, it was our whole high school career was the channel, because it was. Because we did it all through high school. So in today's episode, we're going to go through everything that we've done in the 10 years that we've done here at Whether News Happens or Not. And it's going to be we're going to be talking about a lot of different things.
Oh, Lord.
But we're going to be looking at 10 years worth of stuff. And this is going to be a long video. So sit back and enjoy. Dawson, how does it feel to have finally hit 10 years of Whether News Happens or Not? Do you feel old? Because I feel old.
Yeah,
I feel very
it's
old.
crazy that we've been doing it for 10 years.
We hit 10 years on YouTube last year, but that was of me and Dawson doing YouTube videos. This is means more than just doing YouTube videos, period.
This is the actual show.
We've been doing Whether News Happens or Not for 10 years. But yeah.
I just noticed on these videos you put the little banner on the top.
Yeah, I did that a long time ago because I was like, I don't like these thumbnails. But how does it feel?
I think it's crazy that we've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like the Whether News Happens or Not channel.
Mm-hmm.
And WNHON channel.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because we've went through so many. It's like phases. We went through so many phases. You can see as we're talking about it or whatnot, but all the different phases. But it was a yeah.
Each year is very different from the next year. We have a lot of different things to talk about in this video today. And we'll just kick it off with the very first video that we ever did for the Whether News Happens or Not channel, and that was the very first episode of Whether News Happens or Not. And that was the craziest thing I think we've ever done. And we were 13 and 14 years old. Yeah, we did not know. I honestly, back then, even before we did Whether News Happens or Not, I don't even think we knew what we wanted to do.
No.
Not until Dawson mentioned the idea of doing Last Hope. And then we were like, we should do films. And that's kind of where that started from, was that. And that was a month into doing Whether News Happens or Not. But the first, several episodes are really just craziness.
Yeah.
And those were all filmed mostly in the same day, which...
we all had the same clothes on.
Yeah, we all had the same clothes in every single episode. The first two episodes are from exactly 10 years ago, which is when I started the channel. But yeah, that was a simpler time, I would say, back then. Again, we didn't know what we were doing.
How does the first episode have 150 views?
I don't know. I'll never be able to answer that question, and it still has them in 10 years. But we came up with a lot of crazy characters, such as David Tennant, Kingston, Wally the Gangster. We had Celebrity Jeopardy in this time, which is one of the worst skits we've ever done, but it is very funny.
It's something.
It's something, all right. And then you get into Season 2, which we jumped right into Season 2 not even a month after we started Season 1, and that was the whole focus on Last Hope and trying to get it done. And then rain happened, and then we didn't get to do it, and so we tried to film it inside, and it looked horrible. Yeah, it was fun. But we did actually do somewhat of a short film with the footage that we had, which was not good.
Yeah.
But we still did it. Did a lot of crazy stuff. David Tennant dying on set. Elmo getting shot to death by you. And that was a whole video. That was literally all we could come up with. Spider-Man jumping into the set and taking out Venom. I even interviewed Dawson himself as not me, which strange. It's strange. Yeah, we had so little creativity. I think at the time we had a lot of imagination, but I don't know. We didn't know how to use it. And then we did know how to use it. Then you got Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, which is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
That one's got like 406 views, probably because it's based off of the SNL one, and people probably thought that's what it was, and it wasn't. And then we started. Then we really started getting into the full-on costumes and suits with characters and stuff when we started doing the Power Rangers, which was the first big thing
that we did.
that me and Dawson did. Was it good? No. But it was an attempt at what we wanted to do. Yeah, the Green Ranger suit was really the first full-on costume character that we did, because we did that episode where you just beat up everybody. Or I beat up Cole, and then you beat up me.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that. Then we started the Power Rangers, which was a whole summer-long thing that we did, which was fun. We had some crazy ideas for that. If you want us to react to that and talk about the Power Rangers, that would be hilarious. I remember one distinct story from making that where we didn't know how many episodes we were going to do. We didn't know what we were doing.
Nope.
And I remember all we knew that day was we were going to film an episode of the Power Rangers, and Dawson came in, and I remember him saying, "Guess what?" And I'm like, "What?" And Dawson's like, "The Green Ranger's going to die." And I'm like, "What?" It's like, this is the main guy of the show. We're killing him off in 4 episodes. And so that's when I shot Dawson in the face. And then he brought up Deathstroke. That was the whole reason why we killed him off.
Yep.
Just so Dawson could bring in Deathstroke. So that was fun. That was some fun times.
I'm looking at that one video, and it's so like,
That's crazy.
it's like blurry, and it's like, what is happening?
It's definitely, we've came such a long way from that point in time. We were in 8th grade middle school when we did that video that Dawson's watching and the Power Rangers. We were going into high school, but we were still in middle school at that point because high school didn't start yet. But yeah, that was a weird point in time, and Dawson even didn't really start doing costumes then, really, until we did Power Rangers, and then that was when we really started thinking up of certain things to do. Also came up with the idea to do the awards, which we'll talk about more of those in a minute, because we did a handful of those, and they ended up meaning really nothing in the end. We just did them for fun. Do you have any fun memories from the Power Rangers?
Honestly, I don't really remember the whole series. Really, the one thing that I remember is the very beginning of just me and Trace doing random crap at the school. Like,
Yeah, and it's the blurriest footage you'll ever see in your life. It's only because Dawson sent it to me, and he had no internet. And that's why it looks like the way it does. And this is back when, 10 years ago, where the internet and technology was great. It worked so well. I had like an iPhone 4 at the time, I think. I think I did. Either that or, no, I think I had that, or I had an iPhone like 5 or something, or 6. I don't even remember. But it was a long time ago.
This is when iPod still existed.
Yeah, people still had them. We also did the Thunder Shares, which is one of the funniest series ever. I honestly think if we did a series like that now, it would still work. But not as cringy as that one was.
I forgot that there's 2 episodes.
There's 3.
There is.
Yeah, there's 3.
3 episodes.
And I remember there's a funny story.
God.
I told Dawson some time ago that we did I'm Breaking Up With You. That was the last one we did. That's my favorite one. And in high school, when Dawson got out of a relationship, I dared him to send that video to his ex, and I thought that would be hilarious because it's just a funny video. But that one still holds up today.
Who was I dating?
Brittany. Yeah, I think that was who it was.
Oh, wow.
I think so. I think that's what I told you to do, or I dared you to do. We did the first award show, which was weird.
Yep.
That was back when me and Dawson Dawson would come every week in the summer, and we couldn't drive, so his mom brought him to my house, and we would film a bunch of videos in a day, and that was one of them at the crack of dawn.
Yep.
And it was something else. I don't know what. We had like a whole Elmo attack thing, and we ran away, and you scared the living crap out of me when we got in the garage, and you screamed at the top of your lungs, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Great times. And then we started gaming, which
GTA.
that was back when we had no face cam.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Just us playing the game.
Just us playing it and hearing the voice in the background. And that was Grand Theft Auto 5. It was insane to me. And then we started Good Afternoon LJ, which is the prequel to this show. And you can watch... they're on... Obviously, all these videos are on YouTube right now. But you can watch it and tell. We have no idea what we are doing.
No.
Whatsoever. Did we have a great time doing them? I honestly don't know
It's
anymore.
like a TV case.
Oh, where?
Oh, the season 3.
Oh yeah, it's like a table thing
Yeah.
or something. I think it's a gun rack
Oh,
box or something. Yeah, we're conservative. But yeah, we did that, and yeah, like I said, we did not know what we were doing.
No.
Did we have fun doing them? I really don't know, because I feel like we just kind of were trying to make stuff to put stuff on there.
Just doing random crap.
Random stuff. And then we did technically, we like to say another film was the first film that we did, but this is also technically the first thing that we did, the Battle of Endor. That film, I can't even really consider that to be a film, but it was the first actual thing we did.
What is this?
Yeah, you can definitely tell how far we've come when you have Dawson's cardboard piece sitting in front of the camera and we're walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought that would look cool.
And the little toy plane that you can see your
Yeah.
hand in. We're doing great. 9 years ago.
We thought that this was going to be cool.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. And this is before we ever entered any film class of any kind and learned anything. Well, most of it we learned on our own, but yeah, so that was some learning experience times, I would say. So myself. Not too long after that, we did some little...
There's the third episode of the Thunder Sharers.
Yeah, it's in the middle of
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
after
Then we did some videos here and there.
slow motion pull jumps.
Yeah, in between there, we did some pool stuff. We did Dawson's Legos.
Yeah.
We also did the dinosaur video
Dinosaur video.
with the dinosaur effects. We actually used them in a film. It's like Jurassic World effects.
Oh yeah, where's
Like
that
we're
at?
with the dinosaur. It's the first episode of season 3. It's right after the pool.
Oh.
Yeah.
yes.
And we did those, and those are odd, but we did them anyways. And then not too long after that, we started doing trailers. And the only reason why we started doing trailers was we were up late at night in the summer, and I actually remember it. And Dawson brought his Nova suit. And we were filming stuff other than not using it. And we were trying to figure out something to do that involved the Nova suit, because it was kind of pointless for Dawson to bring it if we didn't use it. So we thought, let's do a trailer. And we did. And then we just kept doing them. It just kind of happened. I don't know why, but they did. And we did that one, and then we just kept doing them. And that's the end of that, basically. And then Red Hood debuted right after that. And that was the
Gotta love Red
kickstart.
Hood.
We'll talk way more about Red Hood as this episode continues, but that was the debut of the character Red Hood on the channel. Completely different to the one that like he was last on here like 5-6 years ago, but it's very different from the one that was from the current one, of course. Again, kept doing a lot of trailers, like Doctor Who.
Yes.
I remember having a sore throat during that video, and I had to do
Basic
the
shots
screaming part, and I almost killed my voice doing that.
video.
And then, the basic shots video, one of the worst videos we've ever. We put no effort into that at all, and that was for a grade
Yeah, it was.
for school.
Just doing. We had a basic shots video too.
Which is better. It's better. It's not great, but it's better than the first one.
Establishing shot.
And it was.
Am I watching it? Yes.
And it had the same 3 guys in it as the last
you
one.
and John.
Me, Dawson, and John. Dawson made a video about what we should do next on the channel, and only 30 people saw it, and no one told us what to do. So, that came a really long way. We did a Halo 5 trailer, which was fun. We had Matthew in that video. Matthew was also in a film that we'll talk about in a few minutes, which was the actual first short film that we did. And then we kicked off. We started behind the scenes. We started doing behind the scenes, and those are fun to do. Except now I include everything in the behind the scenes instead of just the parts people don't see. So I include the takes that we use in the films. Basically, all the footage that we have is in the behind the scenes, and y'all get to see all of it.
So weird. I'm looking at the footage of the basic shots video.
Every video
So
back
weird.
then from 2015, even 20, it doesn't matter. It's a lot of it's weird. We did the Flash versus Skeleton Man. That was the very first short film that we did. We were so proud of ourselves.
We thought we did
I
something.
would slap those kids' faces after watching that.
Stop.
Man, the thumbnail that's on there right now is not the thumbnail that was on there in the beginning.
I don't even
A lot of these videos did not have thumbnails. They were just the screenshot from the video itself. And then we didn't start doing thumbnails until high school. And then, so we didn't know what we were doing. We were trying to figure it out. But
Start of this video of John doing that.
that part of that video kills the entire mood of the entire film, and it doesn't belong in there. You could easily cut it out and move on, but you want to know whose idea it was? John. It was John's idea to add that first part in there, and the place doesn't take place in Oblivion.
No.
It's not on a mountaintop, so I don't know what he's talking about.
I'm also watching the scene of. I'm at the scene right now of you, and it's like. I love how you just act like so calmly, like, let me take this necklace off of this dead person's hand. It's just so calm about it. It's
Hey,
like, what?
our acting was impeccable back then. You live and learn. We did not know how to act. And I'm not saying we know how to act now. But I will say it is 10 times better than when we did 10 years ago.
Oh, the effects.
And the effects were great.
Oh, my God.
That was wonderful. That's when we learned how to speed up video. Make you run fast. For a couple scenes. And then, Also, the scene in that where I throw you against the garage door, and the next week I had to scrub paint off the garage door because you hit the garage door and scraped paint on it.
I remember you telling me about that.
That was fun. It was freezing outside.
I actually remember. So I'm at the part right now where it's like the hospital. And
Yeah.
I remember them physically fighting me to take my shirt off.
That's in the behind the scenes of it's in the intro for the old behind the scenes where they're taking your shirt off.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear Raven go, it smells.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really random. And I I barely remember that happening because I was filming it. And I think me and you were about as equally confused because I didn't know what happened. And you were just like, people were taking your shirt off and you were like, what is happening?
Because whose idea was it? Because they were just like, you're in a hospital, so you would have like your shirt off or something like that. I'm like, what?
Well, Raven was playing the nurse, so I wouldn't doubt it if it was her.
And then it was like just downhill from there.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa.
That one consisted of me, Dawson, Raven, Matthew, and John, which that one was actually supposed to be for a school project, which we ended up turning in a whole nother film because we did not get done with this one in time.
Which was literally called The Skeleton Man, wasn't
Yep.
it?
Yeah. And it was written by my mom.
Yeah.
So...
And then you had to go back and like refilm some stuff.
Yep. So, so that whole I don't think, who knows, later in the episode we might talk about if we've had worse struggling filming experiences, but that one was the most frustrating, I remember, because we didn't have everything shot, and when I was editing it, there was nothing like that was making sense, and we didn't have certain things, and we eventually got it done after the fact. But yeah, when we had to turn it in for I think we were just being over dramatic probably, but because we were still in puberty at the time. I had to go and film scenes by myself to stitch together for the other made-up film that my mom thought of. And yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was fun. Fun times. I forgot to also mention that in the summer going into high school, we thought, oh yeah, we're going to high school, we're going to get so many people in films. Were we wrong? We were very wrong. Because we experienced that firsthand when we tried to do the Red Hood film, and we fell flat on our face doing that. I don't know why we thought... Yeah, we're big shots.
This is gonna work.
We're gonna get all of these people.
It did not work.
At the age of 14 and 15 to do this film, and it's gonna be great. And y'all almost killed each other just to do those scenes with John. You almost busted your head because you slipped and fell that one time.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, that's like one of the funniest bloopers ever.
I remember slipping a lot because the bottom of my boots had like zero grip whatsoever. But
we also had the lights turned off in the basement all the time, and I felt bad for Megan because she had to do the makeup and the wigs for John, and John had his shirt off to play Killer Croc.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that one was me, Megan, Dawson, and John for that one. That never came to pass, but the unseen footage of it is on YouTube right now, so you can go check out the weird craziness when we filmed that way back when. That was really the first project that we tried to do. And that was the only, I think, write this down, the only full-on script that you wrote on paper.
Yeah.
Was that film.
All of it was on like pieces of paper that I ripped out of a book, and I wrote the whole thing down. It was just chicken scratch.
It was chicken scratch, very much. So I remember you left it at my house, and I tried to read it, and I was like, I kept texting you. I'm like, what does this mean? What is this scene? What does all this say? But yeah, we were planning on doing like multiple days of filming for that, and that didn't happen.
That did not happen.
That did not happen at all. This is really funny. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Then Dawson did a mini vlog series for the Fall of the Red Coats.
That never happened.
That never happened, and we do have an idea still for that, but we would have to extremely cut many people out of that. But yeah, the original idea is unfathomable now. It's like the way that you came up with it, with the amount of people that we had, and it was like 7+ people. It's like, there is no way we're doing this.
No. Which is funny because at the time we did have all the people to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's just, and I think it's funny back then we thought we could do all these big things, but we couldn't even drive yet.
Yeah.
Like, that's the funny part. We couldn't even drive. But there was that, and we started doing the vlogs and all that funny stuff. Dawson started uploading his own videos on YouTube at the time. And then we did Jackson's Past. Boy, was that fun. That was I don't even know where that came out of. That was another school project. A lot of the films that we did early on were for school, because we had to do them. But and I will say this, and I'll bring this up probably when we get the VHS, but I feel like when it came to
VHS.
video projects for school, we got lucky. Because there is no chance that everybody else got, like, crappy things, but we always got the stuff that we knew how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And hence the Jacksons passed.
Okay.
That one was a random word project, where Crib just would stop on random words.
God.
And he gave us 2, and I think it was like a crime thing with cops. Or something.
I thought, wasn't it like crime and action or something?
Something
like that.
And we were like, that's great, because we somewhat know how to do that the best that we can. That was also the second or the first time we ever used stunt doubles.
True, yeah.
We've only done that twice. And it's been... Dawson has stunted for me twice. That was the first time. Where I get shot, I do get shot, but Dawson runs away as me. I think that's how it works. Yeah, because my guy from the side comes in after you. And then we'll get to the other one later on, because that one's a really funny one. But Jackson's passed, and Dawson, that is also the only film that we've done where me and Dawson have both wrote it.
Yeah.
Because now, then later on, it only became either Dawson wrote it or somebody else wrote it or whatever. It was only one person usually. So
I remember Jackson Pass is also talking about that is also the first one that we got on DVD. So
we started making DVDs,
and I have it.
Yeah, I made copies for me and Dawson back in the day. We did films and stuff, and I put them on DVDs, and Dawson made a poster for that one too.
I did.
That was also the first and only Batman appearance.
Yeah. You saw Batman the Red Hood trailer, but that was about it.
Yeah, and then you really see him in that one,
Yeah.
and he's gone.
It's so funny though too, because we've talked about using Batman
Yeah.
for so many things, and then just never did.
Yeah, and the first Joker appearance that makes 0 sense.
Yes. Where did this come from?
Yeah, the prisoner guy just becomes the Joker.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Why? Because I don't know.
And we entered that into a project, and I'm pretty sure we were there when they played it for the whole class, so that was fun. Yeah. But that was a great film to do.
Funny story about that.
Yeah.
They played that in front of the entire class, and I purposely
Oh, yeah.
went to the bathroom
Yeah.
while they were playing that, because I was like, I am not sitting in here while they play this.
A lot has changed
Yeah.
since then. Yeah, I remember that, too. I remember sitting there, and they were playing one of the films, and Dawson left. And I was like, where are you going? He's like, I can't watch this. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, I literally was like, I can't be in here, because, like, just all I could keep thinking of in my head was, everybody's gonna start laughing at us, and I'm not gonna be in the room when that happens.
Which there was a few, but
Yeah.
there wasn't as much as I guess you thought it would be. But
No, I thought like the whole classroom would just start making fun of us.
it's okay. It's an okay video. It for back then it was good because we knew jack nothing about making films, and that was just our attempt at doing it. But that was also the film where Dawson almost got a concussion again. Because you fell down the stairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You already had a concussion before that, but
Yes.
you almost did it again by falling down the stairs. So that was really for me the reason why I was like, yeah, we need to do behind the scenes more. Was you falling down the stairs, because like that was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
And I'm such a great person. I
You know.
I didn't even help you. I just laughed at you.
I
like
would-
how you're
I'd laugh
injured.
too.
And then I did a few short films in the time when we weren't making videos, because Dawson was doing band and soccer at the time, and so we didn't get a lot of time to make anything back then. So I did a lot of cringy things back then. Then we did a Thanksgiving video, which I don't know why we ever did that. I'm glad we don't do those anymore. Where Dawson dressed up as people and I dressed up as people, and we said Happy Thanksgiving, and it makes me want to die watching it. So, you know.
I forgot about
It's great. And then Dawson did a Clone Trooper video of your armor.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, got 141 views.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's like 60 seconds long.
Yeah, you also did the Warren and the Police video.
I did, and that is a part of the cringy sketches that I did that are not good, but I did them out of boredom.
Clone Trooper video's got like 141 views. Why?
And it's 60 seconds long. That's why I was saying
why?
that. And then we did the Power Rangers trailer, which is the worst trailer I think we've ever done. We did not put any effort into it at all.
No.
You literally fight me with a golf club.
Yes.
That's how much effort we put into that. Dawson did a few videos, vlog video when y'all went to Pigeon Forge.
Oh, yeah.
And then we did an update video on Christmas Eve, talking about the ODST trailer. We never did it,
Never did
but we talked about it, though.
Never did it.
But Captain America happened, and that was the next one, except
the
it
trailers.
was Bucky Barnes,
Yes, the
not
Bucky Barnes
Steve Rogers,
Captain America.
because Dawson didn't look like Steve Rogers.
Nope.
So we did Bucky Barnes instead. And that's also when Dawson punched me in the face with a shield.
I did.
That was fun. At least I had a face mask on.
True.
That would have really hurt if I didn't.
I love
But
how every time I try and click on a video to watch it really quick, it's just like a constant load of buffering. And I'm just like, load!
I want to watch it.
I just want to see it for a
I
second.
want to watch it. And then Chris made his debut in the
Yeah.
vlog that Dawson did at Walmart.
Dumb things in Walmart.
Dumb Things in Walmart. That's exactly how you title it.
Yep.
There you go. We brought back the gaming. It's also the time I got a green screen. We started using that more.
Yep.
That thing became a nuisance eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I never packed it up and put it somewhere because it was just this big green thing in the way. But, you know. We did a couple gaming things. We played more Call of Duty. Or we played Call of Duty for the first time, and then we played Halo for the first time.
Yes.
And then another vlog by Dawson.
Yeah, which is funny that we started Combat Evolved 9 years ago, and we literally continued the story, 2 years ago? Or a year ago?
Pretty recent, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still playing it.
We're still playing it.
Yeah, 9 years later. And then Dawson did a vlog with Chris. I think I was sick at that time.
I think so.
I had food poisoning. That was fun.
Probably.
Love that. And then the Basic Shots video, too. Classic.
Second one.
Classic. It's a sequel. We had to do another one.
Classic.
I don't even think we got graded on that one. That class was weird.
Yeah.
We didn't get graded on a lot of things. Really.
We did.
My favorite trailer, The Survivor, is next. I love The Survivor. It is peak. We don't know what we're doing, but it looks good. Still, at the same time.
Please load. I want to watch this.
I remember me and Dawson spending most of the night working on that video. And this is back when we had to do voiceovers on the computer, and we never did them on our phone. So the voiceovers sound like complete garbage. And again, as you can tell, we don't know what we're doing at all. Also, we've entered 2016 at this point.
Oh, come on.
I've got to throw that out there so y'all know what year we're in now.
our-
But what?
It's below freezing. We've got our shirts off.
Yeah, no, that was that didn't last very long either.
No.
We played Indians because this is based off of the Revenant movie,
Yep.
which is great. 10 times better than our crap. But yeah, the last scene that we shot, me and Dawson got half naked and we ran through the woods in the freezing cold. That was fun. Not really. I actually still remember it. Except you had to lay in the snow and
did.
crawl out of the snow. And you got in the cold water, too. So, that was great. And I had a fake beard. And it was so cold outside, I had snot in my beard. And I couldn't, when you watch the video, it looks like I can't see where I'm going half the time. But, what's funny about that, though, is I think now, we could make a film like that without the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Like with just 2 characters like that. And it would still be good. Obviously, it'd be better than it was 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we did that trailer, and that was a lot of fun. It's probably one of the first times that I can remember that we used fake blood,
Yeah.
I think, in a video. So we thought we were doing something there, especially back then. And then we did Stormtrooper on Duty.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the worst editing experiences I think we've ever had. It was fun to make, but the editing was atrocious trying to edit all that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm just watching The Revenant, and there's one scene where we're both really like flailing our arms at each other to make it look like we're fighting.
dang, great times. But we had to do we had the video basically done, and then we decided, I think it would sound more realistic if we did the voiceovers and it sounded like stormtroopers and like Darth Vader kind of stuff. And so we went through the entire video, recording it off of my computer. I think I still have a video of you recording a voiceover for that. And yeah, that took forever. I remember that.
We're gonna take a quick break really quick because
Okay.
my boss is trying to call me.
Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back. I had a little bit of Dawson had to take care of some business for a little bit.
See, I'm still watching The Revenant.
But yeah, we did the Stormtrooper on Duty. That was we talked about how the editing of that was atrocious.
Yeah.
And not as atrocious as the film that happens later on. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Did Skate 3. We played Skate 3.
Yes, we did.
The only time we've ever played Skate 3. And then we played GTA 5 some more, which we still do. We actually did that recently, if you want to go check that out. We did the Whisper Challenge on Good Afternoon LJ, which was not as fun as I thought it was going to be back then. Played some more GTA 5, and then we hit 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we did in the 1 year. All that craziness was in 1 year of whether these times or not. And then, you know what we did to celebrate 1 year? We made Ant-Man. Yeah! We made Ant-Man. The very first time we ever used green screen. And it was
It was okay.
It was okay.
For what it was.
The running on the arm is actually not that bad.
No.
Like, for back then. But
I remember us, like, making that film and then watching it, and we were like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the film debut of Chris. We brought Chris in to do films, and he was there for about a year. We did Ant-Man. We tried to get, because we were supposed, so, I'm trying to think of this correctly. In film class, the final project was supposed to be a short film of any kind. We could do any idea that we wanted to. That was what Mr. Cribb said.
Yep.
And Ant-Man was going to be the film. That was going to be the film that we turned in for the project. And it's like, and we probably would have got one of the highest grades out of all of them because back then I don't know if anyone was making stuff that was like that. Well, they decided to switch it up last second.
Yep.
We just got done making it, and we were gonna turn it in and everything. And they were like, "Oh, let's take a vote on what we want to do. Do we want to do a film as a class, or do we want to do individual?"
And they were like, we're going to do the class. And me and Trace were both like...
The one time we make something cool, they don't want to get it.
Yeah.
But we did Ant-Man. Dawson played Ant-Man, and we got to use a shower for the first time. Chris just got to play a stereotypical thug, which was...
Mexican.
Yeah. And I got to play a few characters. That was one of the few times back then that I got to play a bunch, but there was that. Yeah. Why I looked over there, I don't know. There's not a camera there. And we did the Flash vs. Skeleton Man, The Return trailer, which is okay. It's not... The idea of the sequel is pretty cool, because it's it's right after the first one, obviously. What?
I'm watching Ant-Man.
Oh.
And it's just like, they did the whole thing and they're like talking about the job that they're gonna do, and literally it's like them in the basement, and we put a couple of minutes later, and then it's like us in the car at the house, and it's like that happened in minutes.
Yeah, that was in minutes, man. We're fast.
Oh my gosh.
It's great. We might for an episode of the show react and talk about Ant-Man. That'd be fun.
We should.
We should
react to
and the behind the scenes.
Why have we not reacted to Ant-Man yet?
In the next episode of the show, we will do Dawson's ball stuff and talk about that, and then we'll react to and talk about Ant-Man. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
That is our next episode.
Oh my gosh.
So be ready for that, guys, because that'll be a little bit, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
But we did the sequel to The Flash vs. Skeleton Man, the trailer for it, and the idea of it was actually not that bad. It was right after the events, or several years after the events of the first one, and we did not have Matthew, we did not have John, and we did not have Raven, so we basically had to come up with an entirely different thing, where Dr. Matt, well, he dies in the first one,
Yeah.
so we had to have a new doctor guy. And then Dawson's character gets a new suit, and it's red. It's just like the one from the show, basically. And that was a fun trailer to do. Used some green screen in that, which the stock footage, I didn't take the tags out of it, so it looks bad. And you also reused the same line for a script in another script that I pointed out to you one time, and I thought it was funny. But
Green screen of the bathtub.
yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time. And then we did the Revolutionary War with Mr. Robinson. That one, I don't even really know what to say about that one. That one was kind of just, we were working on something that was completely different than that. And Dawson had the British soldier, or the soldier suits done because they're going to be for Fall of the Red Coats, and we wanted to use them. And Dawson just got done making an assassin outfit from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, well, we'll just do this. And it's basically just the assassin killing people for like 3 minutes. So it was fun. But I'm pretty sure there's a scene in it where it completely just skips over a part because we didn't have it.
Okay.
Or it wasn't recorded or whatever.
The
but-
running up the arm thing is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's the coolest part of the whole thing because it actually looks like you're running up my arm. But yeah, we did that with Matthew. Was not there for that. He actually was there beforehand, but Cody was in that with us.
Yeah.
That was his first time.
Was it beforehand us talking about the Power Ranger movie?
We've never released that video, by the way. There is a video on one of my thumb drives
God.
of behind the scenes of a meeting that me, Matthew, and Cody and Dawson had at Dawson's house about doing a big film called Power/Rangers, literally based off the movie that was coming out the next year. And obviously that didn't happen, so, working on it.
Working on
Working
it.
on it.
It's still, there's a lot of things that we've talked about that we've never done.
That's a whole episode in itself. All the ideas that we've never done. That's a whole episode right there. Next is if Google was a guy. What the heck, man? This is back when we didn't care if we stole somebody's idea. We just did it. And Dawson showed me and Chris this video and was like, let's do this. And we did it. Word for word. We changed some things, but we did it. And then the only Weather News Hammers Are Not Quality that we had in it was Spider-Man at the end. And that was it. That was fun. That was the only time we had the school to ourselves, too. Was that time. Oh, boy. And then I'm looking at the next one, and this is
I'm actually...
something. Oh, yeah. The Ultimate Spider-Man. We were going to actually do a series for this. I don't know why we thought that we were going to do a series for this, but I just like to call it The Ultimate Spider-Man now. With me, Chris, and Dawson, and we tried to make it look like a legit show when we weren't gonna ever make another sequel to it. Dawson actually did come up with an idea of a superhero team teaming up
Yeah.
in the sequel, but we were shooting high back then.
Yeah, we were.
Shooting very high. But that was a film.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say.
There's a lot going on right here that I'm watching it. I'm just like, what?
Dawson attempted a front flip and about broke his back. That was
did.
fun. I remember that.
I was like, I could try it. Nope.
One of the other funny parts about that film is you sticking Chris on a swing and spinning him, and the cops come in right behind him right as you're doing it. And I bet they were like, what is happening? But yeah, that was back when we had the primary school at our disposal, and now we can't even go in there because that was back before they put a big giant fence there. But we got to do a couple of things there. Fun times. Indiana Jones trailer.
Freaking the Green Goblin with Chacos.
Yep. That's it. I'm telling you, we were just like, yeah, it'll work from the upper half. Where you like jumped off the wall.
Yeah.
And landed. And then you soccer kicked my face. That was fun. And that's also the one where you baseball throw a bag in my face, and I can't see anything, and it just goes BAM, and it hits me right in the face, and I did not see it coming at all. But the Indiana Jones trailer, that was the quickest video, and it still is the quickest video that we've ever done. We filmed that in like an hour, edited it in less than an hour, and that was it. And that was the trailer, and that's also when Dawson whipped me in the face. With an actual whip.
Yep, there's
that
the
was
cops
fun.
as I'm spinning him around.
That was fun. Yeah, the cops come in right behind in the Spider-Man video.
Whoa.
But fun times talking about the old stuff.
The old stuff.
Indiana Jones, we didn't know how to drive then either. None of us did, and we did a whole scene in a car, and that whole trailer was something else. But we also got pool dodgeball out of that.
That was me, you, Cody, and Nick.
That was fun. We wanted to make that an annual thing, but that never happened. And it got a lot of views.
Yeah.
A lot of views. So it was probably partially the reason why I wanted to do it every year. We also did the first ever jumping floaty challenge, which was fun. It was very interesting. We haven't done a pool video in like 6 years, I think. So, those might come back. What in the world? Oh gosh, the beginning of it. And then we did the second annual awards show, but it was just me because I was the only one that was able to do it at the time. And then we did some more trailers. We had Cole in a trailer. Not my favorite trailer, just because it's just not a good trailer. And then we did another pool dodgeball video, which also got a ton of views, and I don't know why, but for some reason people like watching people throw balls in a pool, and I'll never understand that.
What is this trailer?
You literally like took clips like from the trailer itself, and we just shoved them in there. And they're not even in the same like resolution as the actual video. But yeah, Dawson plays Indiana Jones. I play his son in that one, and Nick and Cody play a lot of extras, pretty much. But it's something else, I'll say that. Then we did one of my favorite trailers, and I still watch it from time to time. Central Intelligence.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of the funniest ones I think we've done. It's just a very funny trailer.
I clicked on Central Intelligence to watch, and this was the...
Oh gosh, not that thumbnail. But Central Intelligence was the most fun to do. Where my favorite scene having to be Dawson throwing a bomb under the car, and I'm just flipping out, and that was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. I've not watched that movie, so funny enough,
You should.
I've not. So
You should.
I have not. But we did that trailer. That was a lot of fun. Then we did the sequel to the Jumping Floaty Challenge.
Yeah.
We did another one, and we also played more Call of Duty, and we played Disney Infinity for the only time that we
That
ever
like
played
didn't
it.
work.
No, it did not work at all. But then we also did the Trick Shot Challenge, where we also faked a trick shot with Dawson kicking a basketball into the basketball goal, and that did not, and that was me screaming, I heard that, of Dawson faking a shot where he kicked a ball into the basketball goal. And we faked that, and it was really dumb. It looked fake anyways.
Yeah, it did.
But
What is this?
it's so good. It's funny.
It's amazing.
There's a part in that Central Intelligence trailer where there's a shot where we're falling. Like, it's supposed to be a shot of us falling out of a building. And me and Dawson stood like 2 to 3 feet away from the computer just screaming. And I wish we got a video behind the scenes of us doing that, because that was really funny. That's like actually a good part of it.
I know.
That part. Yeah, that was something else.
Jesus.
Great times. If y'all want us to react to all of the... Yeah, I know it's great, right? It's funny. If you want us to react to... if y'all want us to react to all the trailers that we've done, that'll be an episode in the future for sure. While we react to that one also.
That just made me happy.
That was really funny. We also started the Dawson Custom Show, where Dawson showed off his Magna Man suit, which is a character that we came up with earlier in the year, and that was the catalyst for the Whether These Times or Not costume showcase, which we're going to be bringing back at some point.
Yeah.
Any costumes that you're working on
Right now?
to get into that?
I
I know you were going to do a Cassian one.
We are gonna bring Cassian in so
Yeah.
y'all can see what's involved with that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot.
Yes.
I'm working because I sent a fan art. I sent a fan art that I drew to Trace, which is there was an idea that we had for a very long time of we were gonna do a short film that was based around Wolverine getting hired to hunt down Bigfoot. Cool idea, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a suit that I'm working on, or I'm going to start working on, is the brown and yellow
Wolverine
suit.
Yeah.
Another suit that I'm working on right now that I'm actually working on the helmet. The suit is almost done. Is a basically our own, like, if they didn't exist, they were like, this is like what they would be. But the WNHON branded version of Power Rangers, basically, called the Sentinels.
Yeah.
And one of them is the Red Sentinel, which I'm working on that suit right now. So.
And then Kuga too.
Kuga!
Kuga's going to definitely be an episode of the costume show. We're going to bring back the costume showcase. We only did like 4 episodes of it during COVID, and it did really well. And I don't know why we quit doing it, but we just did. Because the Mandalorian one got like 2,000 views, and we're going to bring it back. And Dawson's going to be the host of it. Yeah. So
Till the day I die.
we then did Magna Man versus the Skeleton Man, which is not a good film either. But
No.
it was just what we had to work with at the time. I think the only reason why we did it was to use the suit.
That was a really close up of my face.
That was the only reason why we used. Yeah, I got on top of the bed and filmed you. Don't take that out of context, please. But yeah, I think the only reason why we did the Magna Man one is to use the suit, because we wanted to do something with it, but we didn't know what. He's watching the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer that we did, which got a lot of views because the film hadn't even come out yet. it was like a whole nother year until it came out. And
It's cool you got your grandpa to do the voice.
yeah, my grandpa Wallace got to do the only voiceover and acting that he's ever done, and he was Uncle Ben in that trailer. Whoa, and also the first kiss scene in a film.
Yep.
That was fun.
I actually really liked that Spider-Man suit, and I wish I still had it.
That is a good Spider-Man suit. I remember that. That was that was a very interesting shoot. We actually brought the cops to our house.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we brought the cops to our house, not because of the video, but because Chris accidentally called the police.
He butt dialed the cops.
Yeah, he butt dialed the cops, and they came to the house while we were filming. Literally in the middle of filming the scene where Brittany has her hand stuck to the door, or to not the door, but the Dodge, and they pulled up like right as we were filming that, and that was a lot of fun. And Dawson was in full costume.
Yes, I was.
So that was great.
I was just like, I'm Spider-Man.
Don't arrest me, man. But we played a lot of different characters in that one.
I remember your mom being like, what did y'all do?
Yeah.
And we were like...
Points at
We were
Chris.
like, he
did it. Then we did Thrift Store Massacre. This was really where Red Hood started.
Yeah.
Red Hood started back then, but then we started doing it more with Thrift Store Massacre. Also, the very first film that I ever edited in the software that I edit with now. So that means I've been using it for 8 years, and I feel old. It was so much different back then. But, yeah, we actually were supposed to film a Red Hood trailer.
Yep.
Which ended up getting filmed a year later. But we were going to film it that day. And then one of the twins slept in, so we didn't get to do that. So only one of them showed up. And we got to do Thrift Store Massacre.
We did get to do there was a lot. I can't tell you how many times that we were like, this is the people that were going to be here. And then they were like, okay. And then like the day of, one or two of them, it never fails. One or two of them was not showing up.
Yeah. That was like I think that was like the first time that ever happened to us.
Yeah.
Because Nicholas,
yeah.
I don't care to say names, but Nicholas slept in, and Monty was the only one that was able to come.
I remember Monty getting there and he being like, I could have woke him up, but I just
Oh,
showed
yeah.
up. And we were like, why didn't you wake him up?
Why, dude? Y'all said y'all were going to be here.
I also love that whenever the first shot of you behind the counter, the drugstore guy picks up an Uzi and he's just like,
yeah, at my thrift store, I sell guns.
that's such a
Because
rough
that's
costume.
legal. Yeah, that was more of there's a lot in the different Red Hoods when we talk about them. There's a lot of different ways that you act as Red Hood. Because in this one, you're more of a cocky, arrogant, I'm just going to shoot whoever guy. And then as we go into the other ones, we'll talk about those. But we then did the parkour challenge where I almost broke my knee.
Yep.
And Dawson had to finish the rest of the video because I injured myself.
I forgot the parkour challenge.
That was... Would we ever do that again? Probably not, because I think we would injure ourselves even worse than we did then. And there's not much place to do that. And also, are we dumb? Maybe.
Good afternoon, LJ.
Maybe. That was one of the final Good Afternoon LJs for like 3 years, and then we came back with it. Copyright free music. The Skip Track trailer is next. One of my favorite ones that we did.
It's such a good one.
It's such a good trailer. It could have fixed the editing for sure, even back then, but it's one of the funniest ones. It's based off of the movie Skip Trace. We just changed one letter. The characters are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun time. I remember that very fondly. We were actually supposed to do a film before, like, not filming that one. We were going to actually do a film about a inside joke between the three of us where we were filming Spider-Man Homecoming, and in the behind the scenes, Chris says he's going to kill my whole family.
Yeah.
And then we were going to do a whole film based off of that, and then we decided to do Skip Track instead. And I think that was a better idea, but
The Abercrombie and Fitch.
yeah,
memes.
that started a whole entire thing.
That was also the year of, like...
The whole entire thing, yeah.
Of that whole...
Mm-hmm.
Like, that meme happened a couple of times.
Yeah, very. It was a meme that happened a lot.
I think my favorite one is like that one was good and it's funny, but I think the funniest one is when we did the Time Force Ranger and Doctor, and I'm walking across the parking lot. And I'm like unbuttoning my shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to that one.
And you played
in a few.
You played the Paul song over that one, didn't you?
Paul song. All I could think of was "Hi, I'm Paul."
Hi, I'm Paul. Isn't his name Paul? But the,
RuPaul?
RuPaul, yeah.
RuPaul. I think I did.
Yeah.
Now, Sister That Wow.
Yeah!
Yeah. That song that you pulled a gun out on?
Yeah.
Um,
Just said, what the...
Yeah. Next, it's funny that we got Skip Track and then this film's next. Steel. That's a weird thing to come off of. Steel, at the time, was the biggest thing we ever did. Is it good?
Kind of.
Yeah. We won awards for it.
We did.
It's the only... That's a fun fact. Another trivia question. What's the only film that's ever won awards? Steel.
Steel.
Was it a film that should have won awards? For costume, yeah. But for the rest of it, I'm glad it didn't.
Oh, dear God, please load. What is the one What is the one comment? Oh, it's Kendra.
Oh, yeah. She was complaining about the audio.
Yeah.
I remember that. She told us in real life and in the comments about that. I remember that. But... Steel was one of the biggest projects that we ever did, ever, at the time. We had the most people that we've ever worked with on that film at the time. And that was also for a school project, and we got a 92 or 3 on it.
Yeah.
I think we did. I remember it, because I remember we got an A on it. And we were the first ones done.
There's also a lot of teacher and student jokes that was being said about that.
Yep, that was the that one got entered into the film awards at our high school, and Dawson won best costume and makeup against his own wife, and beat his own wife.
I did,
but it kind of wasn't fair because Dawson was nominated twice in the same category for 2 different films.
Yep.
So it's great times. But we still won an award. We have an award that's 8 years old, but we have an award under our belt. That was fun to make. Yeah, it's a bad voiceover. But that was a fun film to make. I watch that film sometimes and I think about the people that are in it. I'm like, I know where these people are at now.
Yep.
This is weird, like, to me, to watch this. But a lot of it was asking people if they wanted to be in it, and it just kind of happened, and so.
What was that? What is that red line thing? What was that?
What red line thing?
It was like the scanning part.
That was like a scanner, like a cash register thing. Like, one of those things that you just scan the barcode. It was like that. We found it in... John was playing with it, and we're like, oh, we'll use it.
The amount of effects.
It was, speaking of that, we had the most special effects and sound effects for that film ever, and I remember Dawson would get done with it, and he'd be like, no, I gotta do more, and then we'd just keep going, and then that's why it took a month, because we just kept working on it.
But if you remember too, the lightning went straight to my crotch. But if you remember too, the we got done really early, and we felt like we did something. I specifically remember us talking about how we felt like we were doing something wrong, because Nathan kept coming up to us and being like, "Are you sure you're done? Are you sure y'all are done?"
I forgot about that.
Because we finished so early, and they were like, "Are you sure you're done?" And me and Josh were like, "We don't know what else to do."
Yeah. So like we would sit there, and Dawson would be like, "I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna do this." And then we'd be done, and then I totally forgot that he came up to us and did that. But that makes sense why we didn't.
We're just like, okay, we'll do this, we'll add this, we'll do this, we'll do that.
And then we got a 93, so,
We still passed, so it's okay.
And then we got the Judge Dredd trailer, which had the whole squad. The whole squad was in it. There's a lot of backstory behind that. We're not going to go into that because that was a very rough time in our adolescent years. But the squad was in it. And ear rape. Yeah, Steel had a lot of ear rape in it. We did the Judge Dredd trailer. That one was kind of like a one-off thing, and then we actually did a Judge film in the future. We'll talk about that later on. But we did the Judge Dredd trailer. It's fun. Music great. Acting horrible. For some. I don't think we could have made it any better. Really, it's just But you know.
But I got it playing now.
Oh, don't give me PTSD, you know.
From the people that gave you Steel.
Not a good thing to put on that one.
What is up? Wait, hold on. I gotta replay. What was?
In the future.
Oh yeah, the trash.
Yeah.
We were like, we need to make this look like crap, and we're just like trash cans.
Yeah, that was probably the first like set piece we ever. That was horrible. That smelled bad.
Substance.
And the
I love how like
Lonnie's car.
this trailer is set around basically slow motion.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I remember recording that voiceover too.
Chris Black.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to react to that on the show. But we did that, and that's giving me all sorts of flashbacks watching that. I was so tall, I had to lift down because I was gonna hit my head on the garage door. Random shot of walking in the garage. That was funny. We had that script all written out, and we were telling them to say the lines.
There were so many people right there.
Yeah, it was all of us. Well, except for me, I was recording, but everybody was running in that shot.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, the only time we ever got to do that. Because we had the chance to. Then we reused shots because we didn't have enough.
Two different sound pitches. Shirtless.
Random shirtless shot.
Get off me.
That's convenient. Yeah, get off me. Ah! This is probably the best part of it. Just the clips and stuff put together. We're shooting the house. Yeah, y'all getting murdered.
Oh,
yeah, all your parts came off there. Oh, yeah. There's a funny story about the scene where we're all shooting at the house. I remember Dad was there, and he told me, he's like, yeah, I looked out the back window, and y'all were pointing guns at the house, and I was like, what?
Could you imagine just like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Lord.
We started the Bully series, which I did a second one, but it's not on the channel. I did it on mine. We did a still trailer. We also did the beginning of the Versus series, which is the Punisher versus Elmo. One of the most creative things like we've ever done. It's great. Great intro, too. And we did a trailer for that one as well. We also did a trailer for the very first Flash vs. Skeleton Man. And we did the second episode of the Versus series with Jack Gilmore, the Assassin Arrow, which is one of the longest films or things to make. But
why did I use this song for this trailer?
I have no idea. But you use it for just the beginning, and then it goes away. And then we enter 2017, which was one of the most productive years that we had. We started with the Ninjak series, which we had people complaining about how we spelled the name wrong, and it happens. It got 1,000 views. So, you know, that was cool. Dawson just kills me in the snow like a dozen times.
Yep.
That was fun. And I think that was one, for the longest time, that was the last one we did in the snow.
Yep.
For the longest time. And then we did the Wolverine versus Captain America, where Dawson stabs me in the head.
Yes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we fight, and that's cool. We had a lot of cool moments in that. First time for Wolverine.
Yeah.
Not the last, but it was the first. And then we started to dabble in some horror with Blackout.
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot that this is a film.
Yeah, I can see why. The story is good. The execution is not in some spots. It's most of it is just Dawson and Chris talking to each other, and then the last minute stuff happens. Really.
Yep.
The funny part about that is it's one of the latest that we filmed because we didn't get done till 4 a.m.
It was actually supposed to be something else.
It was, and then that's the next one is what Dawson wanted to film after that, and that's meeting the White Power Ranger.
But we were actually filming a White Power Ranger film.
Yeah, we were, and it ended up being meeting a Power Ranger, Mr. Robinson thing.
And we got these we took the lights from the school to use them.
Yeah.
And we did all this stuff, and then I don't remember what happened, but we were just like, "Yeah, we're not filming this
I think
anymore."
it got really late, and Chris was having to go to soccer practice, and you were like, "I'm not going," and Chris was like, "I'm going," and then it was just it was really late, and we were just like, "Yeah, I don't know if he's coming back, so
Yeah.
why are we doing this?" And VHS. We actually entered this into a competition.
Yes, we did.
We did, and I'm glad that we're recording because I'll get to tell you this on camera.
There's 4 comments.
So we entered this into a competition. We had an entire week to film this, and Nathan told us what the prompts was, and it was supposed to be an action film about a VHS, and that was all that we were told. And we wrote the script in one day, filmed it in 3 different days, and then we finally got done with it. And then we went to Atlanta for a Skills USA convention where it was in a competition. We did not place, but that was one of the most interesting experiences I think we've ever had.
Oh my gosh, it was the most craziest.
Now here's the funny part. Last weekend, I was trying to figure out what hotel we stayed in and what the convention center was called because I could not remember and I wanted to know because I might want to go back there again. The hotel that we stayed in was a Sheraton hotel. It is not there anymore. Come to find out, 2 months after we left there, the airport bought it and was going to implode it. 4 years ago, they imploded it, and there is footage of it exploding and going to the ground. And they were going to use it for extra runway stuff, and they have not done anything with it. So, that hotel that we stayed in is not there anymore.
So, wait, does the airport not have a hotel next to it anymore?
There's hotels around it, but
Yeah.
that Sheraton's not there anymore. The one that we stayed in specifically.
I got you.
It was meant to be imploded right after we left, basically. And we didn't even know it, which I thought was weird. Because it was a nice place, but
It was a really nice.
But-
The lobby was super nice in there too. It was like a nice.
they had all the greenery and
freaking-
stuff.
The Solid Snake reference of just hiding under random crap, like the trash can and.
Yeah, there's that, Yeah, but VHS was fun to do. It was definitely a learning experience for me and Dawson because we had never competed with other high school kids in that kind of thing. And I think we got thrown into it blind because I feel like Nathan didn't really... I think we could have done better. But I also think he did it to embarrass us.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were some parts in the interview process where we were had no idea what was going on. And the setting up the cameras and stuff, it was nothing like we've done before. And doing this, that, and the other, it was just so nerve-wracking because we just kind of got thrown into it. But that was an experience, and that was a fun trip. I think the trip was more fun than that. So it was a very fun trip. I will say that. Then we hit 2 years of Whether New Times or Not, and then we did the best trailer I think we've ever done, and that is the Batman Under the Red Hood trailer. It's one of my favorite ones, where Dawson, again, plays Red Hood. And he plays a much more serious Red Hood in this one. And Batman makes a 5-second appearance. And his name is in the front of the thing. And then I got to play Joker again. Shirtless Joker. Yeah, it was a fun time. We actually several times talked about filming an actual film based on that trailer. But we just haven't. And the closest to that, to filming that film, was Horrors of the Past, and we'll get there eventually. But and then we did Impulse vs. Quicksilver, which everybody kept saying we stole, which we sort of did, but we just changed the characters in it. Except for Quicksilver, we kept Quicksilver. We changed Impulse to we changed the Flash to Impulse, but that was a fun one to do. Where I played a bajillion different people in that one, and Dawson got to hurt me in all of those parts.
The Quicksilver time stopping moment.
We also got to use fish wire to hang stuff from the ceiling, and it actually worked.
It actually looked pretty good.
A little bit. I think when you go back, you can kind of see it some now, but then a legend was born, and his name was South Jarday, and South Jarday became a legend in Whether New Times or Not. Right after that, we did the very first very first film introducing the character of South Jarday, and we've done a whole trilogy for him now, and he has got so much story behind him now, but that film was okay. The only good part about it is the blood and the murderous parts at the end, and you go full on psycho in that one.
Yes, I do.
Where you beat the man's head in, and you had to take a really long shower. I remember that after that.
Yeah, because it wouldn't come off.
It was a very hot day too.
It was a very hot
We
day.
were sweating really bad to the point where I think if you watch the film and you see Dawson's blood on him and you see my makeup is like smearing off my face because of how hot it was outside. That was actually supposed to be the Snake Brothers versus the Winter Soldier, but that didn't happen because it was too hot.
It was very, very hot.
And I think your outfit was like all black. Yes. And I was going to have to change into 3 different costumes for that. So we changed our minds. And then we did A Ghost from the Past, which was an idea that my nanny gave me to do. And so we did that film, and that was a interesting experience. I think it was the very first time you've died on camera for a film. I stabbed you in the back.
It did stab me.
Yeah, and that was fun. We got to do a lot of wacky stuff for that. And then Samurai. Oh boy, Samurai. This was the time where we were losing a lot of people, and we didn't have anybody to film with us. And I like to call this era the girls' era, because all we had was girls. And you may think, wow, that sounds great. It was. But we didn't have anybody that was a guy that was our age that we filmed with. It was just girls. And nothing against girls, but that's all that we had at our disposal. And in Samurai, it was me and Dawson and 2 other girls. And that was fun. That was a fun film to do. We filmed that entirely at the primary school. And we had the debut of Zan, and we had the debut of Hope in that film. And I think that was the second time. It was the first time I got to play a Power Ranger out of costume. It was the first film we did with a Power Ranger, like legit, not meeting a Power Ranger, but a standalone film with a Power Ranger in it. And then I got to play Decker in that film as well. And we have a full-on fight scene in a school, which that was the first time we ever did that, with all the teachers watching us. Yeah. That was fun.
I love how I've been looking at videos, and then whenever I clicked off a video, it backed me completely to the home screen.
Oh, that's nice. I wonder what was going on.
This has happened 3 times.
I wondered what was happening.
Annoying.
I wondered what was going on.
That's why I was like, what the fuck?
Then we did the Street Fighter tournament. That was a big film that we did. We actually did that in an auditorium with no one in it, and that was a very interesting. I wish we could use that auditorium again, because that was a lot of fun. Where it was me, Dawson, Sarah Hope, and Colton, I believe. That was in it. Or Sarah wasn't in it. She was just there. But Bailey was supposed to be in it, but she didn't make it.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of killing. A lot of killing. And I also hit Hope in the back of the head. I cracked her head with an actual mic. That was fun. I thought I gave her a concussion when I did that. But I didn't. That was the one where she was like, I quit. And then I hit her in the back of the head with a mic. And I actually hit her in the back of the head with a mic.
Hope have to leave early or something like that?
Yeah, we had to kill her off because... That sounds bad. But we had to kill her off because she was leaving. So, you gotta do what you gotta do. And then it came down to me and Dawson killed me with a broomstick. And then I went full demon mode and the host fought him at the end. And then me and Dawson give a round of applause at the end.
I remember also I made that mask and we put like a yellow highlighter glow in the dark thing that was like, and I did like these outlines on the mask because we knew that like it would be like light shining down, and we thought it would look cool if like the parts of the mask would glow. It never did.
We had a lot of light in there. But even when you were making your entrance, you still could not see it. Then we did one of the first films with just talking in it in Solo. We never did a lot of films with a lot of conversation in it until we did Solo. And it's not great because you can't hardly hear what we're saying half the time. But that one was, we're whatever, we want to do something, and then it just happened. And so Dawson got to play Han Solo. That was fun. Then we did another award show. That little fun stuff. And then we started doing comedic skits like How Mammals Eat Their Food. One of Dawson's most amazing performances, where he portrayed many different animals eating cheese straws. It's great. Then we played some Wii Sports for the first time on the channel, and then we did the Mummy trailer on your birthday.
We did.
Which was a year in the making. We thought of that idea a long time ago. We finally decided to do it, and I think it took a lot longer to film than we thought, because one, it poured the rain in the middle of us filming, and then it was also super humid outside, so we had to not wear as much layers. And then I also got wrapped in toilet paper and dirt and crap thrown all over me for the Mummy. So that was a fun time. And that was on Dawson's birthday too. So that was cool. We also did 7 Ways to Mortify a Child, which is one of the funniest ones we've done, where I just play a child and Dawson just dresses up as different people and chases after me. Like he's going to kill me or whatever. So there's that. And then we come off of that to the Highlanders. The iconic Highlanders, where we had Dawson's dad, we had Hope, we had Olivia in her first one, we had myself and Dawson, and my mom was a voiceover on that one, and we did that huge grand film, which has a sequel that we'll talk about in this episode. But that was a fun one to do. That one had so many, I think we've talked about it in the past, because I think we reacted to it on an episode, that we changed the script of that like 3 times. The ending, like 3 times. and then we kept it on the ending that you see in the film. But yeah, that was 7 years ago. I can't really believe that, but the Highlanders. And then we did Aquaman versus the Talon, which was just kind of a one-off video.
Which was.
We filmed that in the pool. We actually had a whole entire video. We were going to do a versus video in the pool, which I don't even know why we thought that was a good idea. And then it started to rain, and it just didn't work. So we just changed it.
It was a whole
There was a lot of ideas
ordeal.
that changed in that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of changes that happened in the middle of filming that, and then it just turned out to be the way that it was. Then we did another vlog around town. One of the longest videos we've done. We did another parkour challenge, which I think you won. And it was me, you, and Teeb in that one. Teeb's first appearance also. But that's a fun video. That was right before we went back to school too. And then we did the revealing of Spider-Man, where you revealed your new Spider-Man suit. And, that one wasn't very long.
Nope.
But we also broke a Lego thing for that.
We did break a Lego thing.
Yeah, we chucked it to the ground and broke it. Because we dropped it to test it, and it didn't break. So I had to literally chuck that thing to the ground. And then it finally broke. And then we did...
Mr. Robinson.
Becoming an Adventurer. What a video. That was a fun series to do, but it's just wild that we even did any of those. And we recreated the same exact scene in the other Indiana Jones film that we did, except there's not Mr. Robinson in the background. It's just Indiana Jones by himself. But that was a fun one to do. It's really funny. I don't have much else to say about that because
I don't either.
I was trying to think of something, but I could not.
No.
And then we did Impulse vs. Quicksilver 2, and this was the first film that we ever drove around town for, because we actually had our licenses at the time, and that was fun to do. I still can't get over the baby powder in your hair for that, where you go, and then it just goes in the air.
First time we filmed on that bridge, too.
Yeah, and the amount... I was expecting more cars to come through there, but no, not a lot of them did. It was kind of surprising, but that was fun. We did that fight scene on the bridge, and then it just ultimately led back to the house, and we used a lot of fake blood for that, and that was a cool film. It was hot that day, too. I remember that. We did the waiting room, which was it's just a recreation of the waiting room skit stuff, and
Bat in the Sun did.
So it's it's a thing.
It's what it is, anyways.
And then the Ninth Doctor versus the Time Force Ranger, which is what you talked about earlier. We did that one in the high school parking lot back when you could actually film in the high school parking lot.
Yep.
Now you can't do anything at a school anymore.
Nope.
Especially where we live.
Yep.
But yeah, we filmed all over that campus, and we got the cool Time Force morph.
Yep.
It was one of the coolest, if not the only Power Ranger morph that we've ever done that looked cool. And we got to do some dinosaur stuff, and I got to be the Doctor. And what's funny is when we filmed that, I had never seen Time Force, and I had never seen Chris Eccleston's Doctor Who.
Yep.
And now I have seen both. And I can say I am glad that I played the Doctor guy. And I like Time Force too, so it just makes sense at the same time.
Makes sense.
But we did that, and that was fun. Then we did The Trail. Wow.
The Trail. Still probably one of my favorite end credit scenes.
It's a very good end credits. But boy, isn't it a hosh-posh of ideas.
I'm just like, what?
What happens when you mix Van Helsing and Slenderman? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, so Nathan was part of the reason why we thought of the idea of doing this. Yeah. The ending of that film is one of our favorite endings to a film. I still have that song on my phone. And every time I play it, it makes me think of this film. But we filmed that also at the high school. And then we did the final episode of The Stories of Mr. Robinson with Hidden Secrets, where idiotically we thought of the idea of Mr. Robinson is actually low-key and the whole entire time, and that kind of just ruins the whole series. And then Dawson and I fight as Thor and Loki, and it's got a lot of views, but it is one of the worst films we've ever done. Yeah. I don't even think we really tried, and that says a lot. So, I'm going to skip over that one, because I don't know what to say about that.
You know.
Then we did a bunch of gaming. Did a lot of gaming in that time period. We played Halo again. We played Minecraft for the first time. We played Call of Duty a lot. And then Dawson started the Red Hood project, which he started making another Red Hood suit, which I think you used in taking out the trash. I think. Or no, it wasn't taking out the trash. We used it for Julian's Red Hood. The costume that you make on that one is Julian's Red Hood. And then we did some more gaming, and then we did Harry Potter versus Anakin Skywalker, which was a fun one to do. It was for October. It was really hot. I remember that, and we actually got the way that because back then we quit doing the whole somebody's gonna win. We just kind of you decide type stuff. Nobody dies or whatever, because we did that for a bit. But that was when you interviewed Christian Mulkey about who would win, and we added that in the video as well. The effects crapped itself on us that day on that video too, and that was not fun at all. And then we also saw that pig. Yeah, random pig that just showed up. That was the random pig moment. We had one of those, a random pig moment. And then we did Surprise, where Dawson plays Tucker, and he jumps out of the TV. And we did that whole weird Friday the 13th thing.
It's so weird.
Very odd. And then we did a Good Afternoon LJ episode talking about all of our films and our favorite moments and stuff, which any of the stuff that we say in that now is not the same anymore.
Yep.
And then we did the big versus video. The Ben 10 versus video. My favorite versus video of all time. We got to film that with a bunch of people in the high school. We tried to turn that into the Film Awards, but they wouldn't take it. And because we had a different status at that point. And we had a lot of people in that film. We had me, Dawson, Alex, Jacob, Olivia, Julian, John, his girlfriend. We had a lot. A lot of people were in that film. I would say that morph is as good as the Time Force one, but the Time Force one is just
Time Force one's better.
The best one. Fight scenes in this one are great. The editing for it was great for back then. I remember we showed it to Nathan and Mulkey, and Mulkey was like, "That's like the fighting style of Jason to a T." Like, I remember him saying that. And these are grown men. These are grown men saying this. So we did that, and that was a lot of fun. We did The Beginning, which was supposed to kick off a horror series that we were going to do, but that never ended up happening. And honestly, that film by itself is fine. You don't even have to do a sequel for The Beginning. It's just it is what it is. How to Prevent a Burglary is one of the funniest videos we've ever done. Where Dawson tries to teach you how to prevent a burglary. Or a burglar, as you say.
Burglar.
Yeah, whatever. And that somehow we somehow got that finished. I don't know. At that point we were just making stuff, doing it. Throwing it at the wall and seeing if it sticks. And then we did In a Flash, which all came about because of one scene that Dawson wanted to do, and that was throwing yourself up against the lockers.
Yes.
And then we basically just did a film around that, just to get up to that point. And we did a whole entire set in the school that I wasn't a part of because y'all did it after school and I wasn't there, or y'all did it during band was it band or something like that?
I think so.
And I wasn't there. It was you and Julian that did it. And then I walk in and I see all of it. And I'm like, holy crap. There's so much. I didn't know this much stuff was in here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine what that room is now.
Probably.
I'd love to know.
It's honestly probably some like storage.
Either that or they
thing.
used it for a classroom now or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it was something. It was something.
Dumb is what it was.
Well, we did all that. We had Teeb, Julian. We spent like a week doing that video, and they didn't give us the right camera. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they gave us the wrong lens. That's what it was. So it was close up
Mm-hmm.
every shot, and it was. But we made it work, I think. Then we did Starshine with Star-Lord and a guy who makes moonshine. What a great combination. Isn't that just a lovely combination, Star-Lord and moonshine? That was funny. And then we did a vlog of shopping for Christmas at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did Undercover, which is another good one that we did. We filmed that in town with Julian, and we almost got arrested
Mm-hmm.
because Julian sucks at hiding a gun in his jacket. So, and then Dawson got confronted
Yes, I did.
about us having a fake gun by a church of all places.
Yes, I did.
So, but that was a fun one to do. We basically just run around town shooting stuff. Not actually shooting stuff. We're just filming stuff is the right word, I should say. And then we froze to death in Silent Night, which that whole process was interesting. We had a lot of new people for that one, and we at first did not know, Dawson didn't know, what the film was gonna be. Dawson thought of the idea of it, and then I told you that it sounded like Silent Night.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we decided to make it Silent Night. And we're entering 2018 now. So, yeah, we thought things were going up because we had a lot more people that wanted to do the films.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, were we going to be sadly mistaken in just a year. It happens. But we got to have a lot of people, a lot of main characters in a film, which was never really done before. And then we did Nightwing versus Red Hood versus Arrow, which was one of the coolest ones to do. The action parts are pretty cool. The best three-way versus we've done, I think, in my opinion. Also, one of the coldest without snow.
True.
Because I remember we had to move it inside because it was getting below freezing outside, and we had to move it inside. And then we did a lot of gaming with Call of Duty and Motocross Madness and the Olympics. That was a fun episode.
True.
We also did another GTA 5 video, and then we did Operation Najad, which was the very first time that we filmed in Kelowna Mountain, which, fun fact, had a shooting happen over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like you told me this. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
with people younger than us. There was a shooting that happened right in that area, and it's part of the reason why we probably don't film there anymore. But we did for quite some time, and this was the first one. It was just me and Dawson, and we were dressed up like military people, and then we just did whatever, and we made a thing out of it. It was fun. Dawson has a whole scene where he talks to a grave.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was fun. We've
It's
got...
not the last time that we did that.
Not at all. Except it was with me, and I don't
True.
talk. I just...
Salute.
Next, we've got Ghost, one of the funniest films we've ever done. Some of the funniest characters we've ever done. Squirrel was born. Dawson being ridiculed for being a white guy playing Black Panther was born. That's a real thing that happened. We got called racist.
Yeah, we did.
At our high school for making that film. Whatever. We live in North Georgia. It's not like we live in South Georgia. It'd be a lot different.
True.
But that was a fun one to do. where we all tried to fight Black Panther, and that obviously didn't work. And somehow my character didn't die. He got away somehow. And then we were supposed to do a whole entire trilogy based off that film, and that never happened. So, we did an update video talking about us making the Wolverine, which we're going to talk about next. And that film felt like it took forever to make. So long. Just so long. It was such a long... It felt like it took forever to make. Forever. I feel like there's more words to say, but there's not. We did a whole update video talking about how we might be away for a while, and we weren't, because it took us a week to do it. And when that was me, Josh, Dawson, Julian, and Alex, and it was a fun one to do. We almost got arrested again. That's a theme that happens in the early years. We almost get arrested. You know. Because we dressed up like thugs in a Lowe's parking lot. Yep. And I also had a fake gun that they didn't even know about, but it was mostly the thug part. Yep. Fun times. Now, this next film was created in the midst of making the Wolverine and written in the midst of making the Wolverine, and that's Yin and Yang. And that's one of the most fun ones we've done, but also one of the funniest because it goes from day to night or night to day really quick, and that makes it a funny film. But it was a pretty cool film. Dawson gets to play a dead person, which is cool, I guess, if you want to call that cool. I had to speak in an Asian accent, and that was not fun. And yeah, that film only had me, Dawson, and Alex in it, and we filmed at our park in where we live, and really the whole film is Dawson and Alex fighting each other for 9 minutes in a nutshell. Pretty much. Yeah. And it's what the title is, Yin and Yang. Dawson's in white and Alex is in black. It's Yin and Yang, man. Then we hit 3 years of whether these terms or not, and then we've got one of the worst versus videos that has over 600 views, and that's the Harry Potter gang versus the Thor gang. Yep. Horrible. I don't know why. I think when we made it, we didn't think it was that good. No. And we just still posted it anyways. Yeah. I can understand why we didn't do any versus videos for a while after this one, because it's rough for me to watch now. But it happens. We had Steve, Julian, and Josh, and me and Dawson in that one as well, and we filmed that at Harrison Park for the first time. Next was PUBG, one of the most creative films I think we've ever done, where we acted like we were in a video game, and I think me and Dawson have talked about doing another film like that. Recently, we talked about doing something like that. But obviously make it better than we did 6 years ago. But there's a lot of funny moments in it where Dawson's half naked in one scene. I don't got no clothes. Yeah, I die. You steal Josh's bike. Josh gets killed. Yep. I try to kill you and then you kill me. And then Gabe kills you at the end. Yep. So that was fun. That was a fun time. Yes, it was. And then we did One with the Night, which is our vampire film. Dawson got to suck some blood. Yeah. We also filmed at a gas station for that one, We did. Undercover. Yes, we did. Undercover gas station filming. And that one was funny, too, because we had to film it in 2 hours because the park closed in 2 hours. And I remember y'all going 90-0 to get back to the house because we forgot hats. True. Yeah, like you hauled it back. I'm surprised the old truck made it. I don't know how, but it did. And I got to play Dracula in a suit. And that was a very interesting experience because being at our park at the dead of night is always a weird experience. But we got that video done anyways. And then we did Survive, which is one of the best films we've done, story-wise, I think. Story-related, it's one of the best. And that was me. This is right here was really the start of the me, Dawson, and Josh era of the channel, where Josh was in it a lot more, and we just included him in a lot more stuff. He dies in one of the most emotional death scenes we've ever done in a film ever. And I was honored to film that with Dawson and Josh, as Josh fake cried and Dawson fake cried their way of sadness. It was great. Take Another Trash.
Take Another Trash
was next. The sequel to Thrift Store Massacre. A lot of fake blood. A lot of fake blood. A lot of death. That one was a more half serious, half not Red Hood, but you were like a murderous Red Hood. Yeah. Like, you killed a lot of people in that film. And then we had another awards show, and then we did One Chance, which Dawson did a trailer of recently. And that was our MMA film. We've talked about doing another film like that. And that had me, Alex, Josh. It was Alex's last film. It was me, Alex, Josh, and Dawson. And it's where Dawson and Alex fought each other.
Yep. I actually did a trailer for that not too long ago.
Yeah, and it's on our Instagram, I believe. I posted it on our Instagram. If you want to go check it out. And then we did some more gaming. We did some gaming with Josh. And then we did the Ranger film, which is a Lord of the Rings film. Back then, when we filmed it, I had zero context of what we were doing, and then now that I've seen them all, I understand it. Yeah, that's what happens, I guess. That's what happens. And that one was that was kind of like a one-off thing to do. Yeah, and we just did it. And, oh, there it is.
It kicked me back out again.
Oh, that's great.
So,
now I said earlier in the episode there was a second video where Dawson stunt doubled for me, and that was in The Lost Treasure. Dawson stunt doubled as my character when he dies, because Dawson throws him into the water, or throws me into the water. And I didn't have an extra pair of clothes. Dawson did, so Dawson put on the stuff and jumped in the water. But we did The Lost Treasure. That was our first ever movie that we ever made.
Yep.
On accident. Because we didn't realize figuring out all the clues in the first would take the first half of the film. Yep. And it was something. But it when you watch it, it does feel like it took a whole day. Because it did.
It did. It did take a whole day.
It took an entire day to make that entire thing. I am surprised that we didn't get injured in some sort of way because of all the crazy stuff that we were doing, like climbing mountains and jumping off stuff, and and then we did the Wipeout Challenge, and then we did Enemy Lines with the Winter Soldier, which was the first thing that we did with the Winter Soldier. A lot of death in that one as well. A lot of funny scenes where Dawson busts the window out of my car and drags me out of that car. Don't know if that guy's still alive today. And then
probably dead.
Probably dead, yeah. And then On the Hunt, which is a funny one, where Dawson gets to play a bounty hunter, and he goes after me and Josh.
Yep.
Because Josh's character misses court.
Yep.
Isn't that fun? It's a fun time.
You know.
And then we went and had some fun. We did a vlog where we went to Canton, I believe, and we shopped around. And then that led into The Hunger Games, which is one of the most interesting films that we've done. And that had a lot of people in it. It had me, Dawson, Hope, Josh, Maddie, and Mason, which was Mason's debut. And that was the whole... A lot of the films we've talked about before, a lot of the films that we've done are like as we go along, making them up. So that was one of those that we didn't even have a script for. And then we did used to be one of Dawson's favorite films, Revenge, that we did a month after that. And at the time, that was one of the biggest films that we did. And then we did 2 other Western films, and those became bigger than that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. But Revenge is pretty fun. Go watch it. But you can go watch the other Westerns, too, because they're pretty good also. And then we did some more gaming with Call of Duty and Halo, and then we entered 2019 with The Contract, which was our John Wick film. And that was like one of the last films that I can think of where we used a real character. Because at that point in time, we started to use less and less real characters. We tried to do our own thing. A lot of death happens in that one, and we actually got to use an entire empty house. And that was the only time we ever got to do that. Did some more vlog videos. Did a second episode of Dawson's show.
Yep.
With the Thor outfit from Infinity War. And then we did The Legend, which we did a whole episode on that. And that was for a school project, and that did very well. Dawson was there for that. I was not. But I was just a part of it. But that was it was the latest we've ever filmed anything, and I hope, and we haven't for the last 6 years, do another film that's like that when it comes to staying up till 5 a.m., keeping the fire going, and then waking up in the middle of the night to film the end shot, and then filming more stuff the next. We got no sleep.
It was a whole ordeal.
It was very bad.
It was a whole ordeal, honestly.
I just remember going into Waffle House in the behind the scenes, and you were like saying something about how you wanted to do it again. And I looked at you and I said, we are not doing that again. We are not doing all of that again.
Never again.
No, but I would like to do a film that is like that again. Whether it be historically accurate or not. And then we did The House on Killian Lane, which is one of the most story-driven ones that we've ever done. And, yeah, it was rainy. Really rainy. I think you got soaking wet.
Yep.
I remember.
I did.
I also had the flu, I think, when we did that, and I somehow didn't die while making that. That was a very interesting one to do. I got shot like 7 times by Dawson. Yeah, there's a lot of stories behind that one.
There's a lot going on that one.
Personal stuff, a lot of personal stuff
Yeah.
behind the scenes that went on, especially with character names.
Yep.
That was a whole debacle.
That was a whole debacle.
Original title was Murder House. Dawson
It was.
named it Murder House, but then we thought it gave it away, so I just decided to subtly put Kill in there. More gaming stuff. Hit 4 years of Whether It's Terms or Not. We did some more gaming stuff, and then Journey to the Past. We did the sequel to the South Jardine video, and that was a fun time. That film, I think, was the film where we started realizing we don't have any people anymore.
No.
Like right at that film, because that film was just me and Dawson, and Ian had a little part in it, but and that was his debut too. But after that, it was just like nobody at all. And that was when we were graduating high school, which we did a vlog on as well. We did Drug Chase, which was, I believe, Preston's second, because he debuted in The House on Killian Lane, and then he was in Drug Chase, and that film was something. I'll say that.
It was something.
It was something. And then we did the Scream Endgame teaser trailer. I completely forgot about that film altogether. And then we did another Wipeout challenge, more gaming. We did a lot of content in 2019 because we were losing people, and it was just me and Dawson, and we didn't know what we were doing. And then we did a Mandalorian film of Out of Office, where we get drunk off space juice. Yeah, and we just try to murder each other. Me and Dawson do. More content like Dawson walking around in a stormtrooper costume in town, and going through drive-thrus as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, and then Dawson did his first song.
I did.
Yeah, and we actually used it in a Western film.
We did.
as the theme song for the film. And did more vlogs. We did the final 2 episodes of Good Afternoon LJ. Dawson did a video where he explained the story of South Jardé in length. We watched the Joker movie and reviewed it. Then we did Horrors of the Past, which is the best Red Hood film that we've done. And that was interesting. I think when we did that film, that was when we both truly felt like, yeah, we don't have anyone anymore. That was the film, because it was just me and Dawson winging it. But that was a fun one. Layers of makeup. Dawson changed his helmet at the last second.
Yeah,
you totally can't tell. Well, you really can't because it's dark.
Yeah.
But that was a fun one. That was a fun one to do. That one was all over the place as well. I remember that. It felt like a bunch of different ideas, like different films in one. Then we went to Helen. That was a fun vlog to do.
Nice.
And then we broke down our characters for the first time.
Yeah, we did.
And that was a fun one to do. And then we did some more gaming. This is 2020. We're in 2020 now. We've got Retribution, which was the sequel to there was a Jack Gilmore series in the Arrow series where Dawson kills Jack Gilmore. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. A lot of blood in that one. Lots of blood. We did more gaming. And then we started the costume showcase series, which got a lot of views on YouTube at the time. And then we did one of my favorite films in Aftermath. One of the best story-driven films we've done. One of the best films that's just me and Dawson in it that we've done. And it shows with 569 views. So... and then COVID hit. Pretty much around that time. COVID started. And with most people, it changed a lot of things. But with me and Dawson, it didn't. It was really like nothing happened. We just kind of still did the same thing. It was just mostly me and him making stuff. And it wasn't us with other people. But so we uploaded our TikTok videos because that was when TikTok was a big thing.
Freaking COVID, man.
Yeah. And then we did A Day of Prayer, which was our medieval film. And that was an excruciating one to film because, one, you had like pounds of armor on, and also my suit was falling apart, and all we were doing was fighting in place with real swords.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
it's a fun one. And then I started uploading some footage that no one's ever seen before on YouTube.
Unseen footage.
Yeah, unseen footage. And then we did some gaming stuff. And then we did the Uncharted film that was about a year or two in the making with Preston. And that was a fun one to do where Preston actually got to play a bad guy. And he turned on you. That was fun. We changed that up at the last second so we could make it interesting. And then we did the 2,000 viewed Mandalorian episode of the costume showcase. And that was fun. We did the Master Chief episode of that. And we also did another Jedi Star Wars film, which was interesting to do. That one honestly feels more like a trailer than it does a film. It's just a long trailer. Because none of the characters are talked about, really. We just fight. Me and Dawson just lightsaber fight. And then we did our first stop-motion film called Death and Glory, which was great. That took us like 3 hours, and I think it was like 800-something pictures later, and that was it. And then we did Chase, which was an Assassin's Creed film, which was also the debut of Caitlin. Caitlin was actually behind the scenes for that one, but that was her debut into Whether It Determines or Not, was Chase film. And then we did Come Home, which was her physical appearance debut.
Yep.
And Hope, we filmed with Hope, another girl named Hope, for that one as well, and that was a fun one to do. lot of stuff behind that one as well. We did some more gaming stuff. We did the Fry Brothers trailer around that time, which we are still talking about doing that film at a certain point in time. We did the Green Ranger versus Reptile, brought back the Versus series, and Dawson got to use the entire Green Ranger suit for once. Finally, we got to use it. Actually, I take that back. That one and the Time Force one are the best morphs we've done. I forgot about the Green Ranger.
Green Ranger one's pretty cool.
Green Ranger one is cool. It's like he vaped a bunch and then. Then we watched the New Mutants and regretted it, and then we did a vlog of the day in our life during COVID, and it wasn't much of anything.
Nope.
And then we also reviewed Tenet.
We did.
We did review Tenet in that video as well. Then we started this thing, the show. Yeah, that was 4 years ago. We started this show. We did a few episodes of that. We premiered it, reacted to the legend. We talked about the history of the Red Hood costumes. We did a Neverland teaser trailer that we've talked about for such a long time, and it's just never happened. It's kind of how Caitlin joined Whether New Times or Not, was the Neverland film. More gaming. We did a Halo film. More unseen footage. We did some gaming stuff with Caitlin. We did the Calling official trailer, which was in the snow. That's one of the most heartbreaking film videos we've done. And then you got to go to as the Mandalorian in the island.
Yep.
And now we're entering 2021. We've just done... I could go on. I realized we've been going for 2.5 hours, and I didn't even realize that.
Dude, yeah, we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I can talk for so long that I don't even realize how long it's been. But we've done so much in 10 years that I would continue, but my voice is almost gone.
Yeah.
We've done so many different things.
Heck, are you free tomorrow?
Yeah, I should be.
Okay. I'll be busy in the morning time, and then of course late at night I gotta go into work because I'm not dealing with that whole.
Yeah.
So, if anything, I can come back over tomorrow and we can finish this.
I was gonna end it right now. I would just talk.
Oh.
Because I was like, I think
two different videos.
I know, but I think y'all understand because there's so much. I thought it wasn't gonna take me this long, but it took me forever to get through the old ones. So, yeah, we've done a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot of this stuff repeatedly on the channel and on the show, and we've done all sorts of things, and especially from 2021 to now. We actually have done less stuff from 2021 to now, so there's not much to really talk about in those years, except for the show. That's about it.
And a couple of good short films that we did, which was like The Hunter, Home, Deception, which is...
That's the last one we did.
Which is probably my favorite.
And it's weird to say that was the last one we did.
It was Deception, yeah. And Hope Burns Bright, which was a funny one. Yeah. A lot of green screen. The best green screen that we've probably ever done.
Yeah. Yep. Besides Ant-Man, of course. But yeah, we got a lot of different stuff. Really, honestly, you could say from 2021 onward is the show, because we did films here and there, but we've done this for the last almost 2 years now, and that's all it's been is the show.
It's the show.
So, it's been 10 years. That's the 10 years of our stuff. And if y'all want to, if you've made it this far, I really am concerned if you made it this far.
Yeah.
But if you're here already, y'all can look through all of our catalog of stuff. We've got so much stuff on this channel that y'all can check out, especially all the episodes of the show. We got a lot more stuff coming out in the future to keep 10 more years going of Whether News Happens or Not, which would be 2035. My lord, that's a long time. But I thought the same thing in 2015, and it's already 2025, and yep, we're still here. But that's going to do it for us. 10 years. It's been 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. and we plan on doing this for 10 more. And if y'all like this video, this really long episode of the show, leave a like on the video. We enjoy talking about all the different films that we've done, all the different things that we've done. In the next episode of the show, we will get to start doing that more. We'll get to talk about all the ball stuff that Dawson has been going to be. He already went to one. That's why we missed last week. He already went to one in Tennessee. So we'll get to talk about that in the next episode, and the one that he's going to in Illinois next weekend. And we'll react to Ant-Man in full and the behind the scenes on the show. So look out for that. That'll be coming out at some point. The next video that you'll see on here will be another episode of Press Start, because we lied and that never happened. So look out for all that stuff. Comment what you want to see next on the show. We got a lot of different ideas. And the most important thing you can do right now is to subscribe to the Weather News WNHON channel. We are almost 5 subscribers away from 800 subscribers. And just to think that it took us 10 years and we haven't even hit 1,000. And we're only at 800. So, but, it is what it is.
It is what it is. We're getting there, though.
We're slowly getting there. But you always have to stick around. Stick around. Hit the notification bell. Let everyone know when our stuff comes out, because we still do this stuff. Some people, like Dawson, would know. Some people thought we quit doing this.
Yeah.
But we haven't quit doing it, and won't. So, but that's going to be it. My name is Trace Parks.
My name is Dawson Mullins.
We'll see you guys in the next episode of the WNHON Show. Bye-bye.
Peace.
On the weather